Oh my god, we're recording. Completely forgot that I already turned you on. Ha ha ha, that's what he said. Welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to talk about something a little bit more serious, so I hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope that you've been enjoying my content lately because I've been trying to really just, up my game. I hope that it's paying off. I hope that you're seeing that, and I hope that you are subscribing to this channel so we can hit 10,000 before the end of this year, because that would just be a dream come true. It's also my 2017 goal, and I know that we can do it as long as you click that red button. Anyway, today I'm going to be talking about a topic because it's come to my attention that it has been about 2 years now since I made the decision to drop out of college, and I kind of want to reflect on it a bit because I remember before I even dropped out of college, I watched a video on YouTube about someone who was in their early 20s who literally left school at a very young age and never went back, and she talked about her experience and her regrets and how at some point she even said, it was only 4 years of my life, part of me wishes that I just stuck it out. So maybe this will help you if you're going through a really hard time trying to think about whether or not school is right for you. And it's low battery. Okay. BRB. And we're back. Basically, what I'm trying to say is it's been 2 years since I dropped out of school, so I want to make a video reflecting on it. Do I have any regrets? Do I wish I stayed in school? Well, you're about to find out. But before we start, I'm going to just say it. Please give this video a thumbs up because it does help with my content, and subscribe to this channel if you are not already because I'm trying to hit 10,000 subscribers. It'd be really, really cool. I'm going to link the video that I made when I dropped out of school, kind of explaining my situation, down below, as well as in the iCard above. So if you want to watch that, totally feel free. I recently sent this video to Brittany Lewis because she also made this decision, and sort of, she didn't drop out, but I sent this to her to help, and she said that it helped a lot and that she said it was very like cinematic, so maybe you could say the same thing and that would be really cool, unless you didn't think it was. But yeah, it's down below, check it out. So that video will answer any questions that I don't answer in this video. I just want to start by saying that when I was 20 years old, October of my sophomore year of college, I went home for fall break as I did the year before. Actually, I can't even start there, I have to start before. 2 days before I went home for fall break, I had a crazy psychotic meltdown where I just cried all day. Laid in bed and cried because I failed a math test and my classes didn't turn out to be what I thought they would, because I didn't have any friends still in college, because life kind of just sucked and I felt like I was in a prison out there in Ohio. And I texted all this to my best friend. I just told her, like, I feel like I can't be here, like I have to leave, and she just kept telling me, fall break is in a couple of days, you'll rest up, you'll come back, it'll all be fine. And that's what I thought too. I totally thought when I left for fall break that I would be coming back. And I went home. I had the best week that I really needed that in that time. I went to a couple parties with high school friends. I went to a pumpkin patch. I hung out with my best friend from high school. I spent time with my family and my cat, and I realized how happy little things made me at home. The sun, the leaves, the fact that I was in a city, the fact that I could drive, the fact that I could cuddle with my cat on my bed, the fact that I could do laundry or take a shower without worrying about dorm life. And maybe these are very trivial things that I should just be able to suck up and look past in college, but I realized those 7 days home that I can't go back. I'm so much happier here. My mental health is not in question when I'm at home, and that I need to tell my parents that I'm dropping out. That was a tough conversation to have because I needed to convince them that I was okay and that I wouldn't drop out completely, that I had plans to go back to school, that I would transfer to a local college, that I would get my degree, that I would get a job, that I wouldn't be at home forever, and that they wouldn't have to worry. But we talked it out, and in the long run it was saving them a lot of money just by having me move back home because of plane tickets and commuting back and forth between Ohio and here, moving in and out. It took a lot of, money to do all that, so it did save money to have me local, plus I could work, and things in Ohio weren't turning out to be what I thought it would be. So I talked to them, and before I knew it, I was back at school after fall break, packing up my entire dorm. I did it in, I think, a day and a half, and I didn't tell anyone at Worcester that I was leaving. That's my first regret. I had a friend who knocked on my door every single day and called me every single day, and I just remember lying in bed feeling so depressed and helpless, just so stuck and sad, not able to get up, just not able to answer the phone. I was definitely going through an episode of depression and fatigue and just feeling very shitty. But it wasn't fair to her to do that and to ignore her. And I'm learning now that to be a better friend and a better person, I can't do that no matter how much I'm struggling with something on the inside. It's not worth putting the other person through that because they're just in the dark. They have no idea. I think part of me knew I might regret not telling people I was leaving. So the last night at Worcester, I texted someone telling her I was leaving, and it was a great last night because she came over and she helped and we talked and we had a great goodbye, and it was exactly what I needed. Other than that, I didn't tell anyone. and I told my RA the night before, just being like, oh my gosh, finally I found you, because my RA was like one of those college students that was involved with everything, so she was never home in the dorms, and so I left a note on her door being like, please come by my room ASAP. So finally she came over, and I just told her like, by the way, I'm moving out tomorrow, so this room's gonna be empty. And I hope that somebody got my room, because it was a single and it was really big. It had 3 closets and it had a lot of windows. It was right across the hall from the bathroom. It was like the perfect room, which is one of the reasons why I thought, okay, like this is good, I'm supposed to be here, like you got a good room, that's a sign. But it still wasn't enough to stay. There was a small part of me the day that I moved out, I even vlogged it in that video that I listed down below, that worried I just made a huge mistake, but it was too late. I signed all the papers, I moved out. There was nothing I could do about it now, and I think that was just me, even right there in the moment, beginning to look at everything through rose-colored glasses and thinking, oh wait, but don't, because out of your comfort zone, scary. But it's okay, and that's really good. The most development and growth as human beings is made outside of your own comfort zone. You can't grow if you're stuck in your comfort zone. So I moved back home, I did it, and I was really happy with it in the end. I think it was definitely what I needed in the moment, but even to this day, part of me still kind of wonders, in an alternative universe, where would I be? What would have happened if I stayed? So it's not that I regret it, it's that I always will wonder what if. To help with my worry that I made a mistake, I started making a huge list in my journal of all the good things that happened since moving home that wouldn't have happened if I stayed at school. It's right here in my travel journal. I've said this before in so many videos, but if you're a writer, definitely keep a small notebook like this on hand at all times, because you never know when something comes to mind that you need to write down. You never know like what might come out of this. I mean, so many publications, so many, I've only had 4, but a lot of them started out in this journal, and that's crazy to think of. I just found a quote that I kept from someone that I was close to in college that said, "Campus won't be the same without you," at 5:30 p.m. in my dorm doorway on the last day that I was there. Very sad. I'm about to get very nostalgic. Anyway, let's find this list of all the things that happened since I moved home. All the good since coming home. This is a really good thing to do if you're struggling with anything, is just write down all of your thoughts. Focus on the positive and see like, this couldn't have happened if this didn't happen. I truly believe that everything is connected, everything happens for a reason, and that life is deemed by fate. So the first thing that I have listed is lucky enough to feel and be loved. I jumped into a relationship as soon as I came home. Short but sweet love affair with I finally got the dream bedroom fit with a queen size bed. So that was a big part of moving home. As you can tell, this is my bedroom. Before I completely moved back home, I had my old preteen bedroom down here. Like the walls were painted bright green and bright pink. I had a tiny twin size bed. When I moved home, I didn't want anything to remind me of my teenage self. I just wanted to move on and treat this as a new space. So I was able to redecorate completely, and now this is totally me. I wanted a queen size bed since birth, so that was, again, amazing. I was able to work enough to attend VidCon. VidCon changed my life, and because I moved back home from college, I was able to work 3 jobs, 13-hour days, save enough money to literally travel to California for the first time and meet my internet friends for the first time, and attend VidCon for the first time, which changed my life, as I just said. Not to mention that the video that I made about dropping out was seen by Jonah Green, and he commented and subscribed to my channel in that moment, and that just blew my mind, because he was one of those big creators that I had always watched and looked up to for years, and somehow he stumbled upon my tiny little channel. If I never dropped out, I never would have made that video, and he never would have saw it, so that was really cool. I grew closer to my brothers and family members by moving home. I got a job working at a daycare. I worked hard enough again to purchase Playlist Live tickets and go to DC with my YouTube friend Jan. I was able to attend therapy again, which sounds a little weird to say on YouTube, but therapy is super expensive, and I was paying for it all on my own, and I really did appreciate the therapist that I had been working on in high school, and I wanted to continue seeing her, so I was able to do that by moving home, which benefited my mental health a ton. I can play the piano every single day. I saw Ellie Goulding live in concert. I bought my first car. That was a big deal. I made new friends by moving home. Oh, and the last thing I list is my current boyfriend, who I wouldn't even be with if I was still at school in Ohio. So all in all, no, I don't regret dropping out of college. I think that it was exactly what I needed in that time. I think that it was able to push me further to who I am today. It drove me to create content on my YouTube channel. It drove me to work harder and become more motivated, save money, and be able to travel. If I was still at that College of Liberal Arts in Ohio, I would still be at that college in Ohio. I wouldn't be able to travel. I wouldn't be able to afford what I'm doing now. I wouldn't be able to be sitting on my bed and have 2 cats and a piano and a guitar and just be myself. And this is what I need. This is the dream. I know that I've made videos before complaining about this, but at the end of the day, I must remember everything that I went through and how fortunate I am to be here and how much I really valued and wanted this. It's a really important lesson to remember. I don't think dropping out of college is going to ruin your life. I chose to go back to school after being out of it for a year. Some people never never go back, but it's all part of the journey in life to discover where you're meant to be, who you're meant to be. I just can't help think about all the people that I met that have changed me, that have inspired me, that have left some sort of mark, that is literally my boyfriend that I'm meeting in 40 minutes. I actually have to leave super soon to go get dinner with, and none of this would be here if I never dropped out of college. I'm not saying this to encourage anyone to drop out, but if you're on the verge of dropping out, if you had that same breakdown in your dorm bed like I did the week before fall break because you felt like you just couldn't do it anymore, and if you've been thinking about it for a long time, maybe have that conversation with your parents. Bring up what I did so many years ago. 2 years ago, and have a plan. Let them know that you're going to be fine, that you're going to be working. Maybe you already have a job lined up, but just know that everybody's path to college is very different, and I think YouTube right now just highlights the cliche journey of it. So here is a unique, abnormal path to getting that degree, and that it's totally okay, and everybody is different, but hey, we're all gonna be okay in the end, right? I hope that you enjoyed this video. I've been wanting to talk about this topic for a long time because my channel was very small when I made that video announcing that I dropped out. And yeah, my channel is still small, but the audience size has quadrupled in size, and this is a topic that, especially at this time of year when people are settling into college and either realizing that this is their place or realizing that they can't live here anymore, I hope that this has found you, and I hope that this has helped. Don't be afraid to reach out on any of my socials or comment down below if you need to talk about this. I'm here. I always try to respond as soon as possible, but it's gonna be okay. Hey, I dropped out. I'm fine. If you want another college YouTuber's perspective on this topic, I definitely recommend checking out Brittany Lewis's channel. I'll link her video as well down below that she recently just made about her decision to leave school and move back home. But this is a conversation that not many people talk about because I feel like there's a stigma to it, and it's something that people are almost ashamed of doing, but it's not. I'm not ashamed that I dropped out of school when I knew it wasn't right for me. I'm not ashamed that I moved back home when nobody else my age or from my high school did that. I'm not ashamed to be here making YouTube videos. You shouldn't have to feel shameful for who you are. I'm getting deep and I just want to preach, but I have to go meet Bae, like I said, who I wouldn't even have met if I didn't move back home, and I'm so thankful for him. I really hope that you enjoyed this video. Let me know your thoughts down below, and as always, make sure to leave a thumbs up because this really does help with my content, as well as subscribing because we really are like one big family over here with lots of love to go around, and it's never too late to join. All you have to do is hit subscribe. Also, don't forget to click the bell. This notifies you every time I upload a new video, and I always shout out the first comments on my social medias, so make sure that you're following me on those so you don't miss out on any shout outs. With all that being said, I love you and I care about you, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye! Lost my V card.